Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to, I guess, the first edition, of the Waffle Weekend special group of bonus episodes where we just talk about little off-the-cuff things and what comes into our mind. I'm obviously Mike Fish, and I'm joined, as always, by the same man. Well, I guess technically the same man, the main man from Same Friend, Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes here. It's the Waffle Box weekend. It's the best part of the weekend. It's the best part of a bonus coming to you from the future home of Super Bowl 60. You accept no substitutions. We love you because we do this, and you do this because we love you, or something like that. It's this. I got first episode jitters again, Mike Fish. Oh my God. It's like Waffle Box number one all over again, except I'm not showing more chest hair.
I still haven't gone back to listen to that. I'm sure it's horrendous, but never mind. We're here, over 110 episodes later. We're back again. So what are we talking about this episode? We are talking about, so it's an idea I came up with on episode 110, where TV theme songs, best TV theme songs for you to sing at karaoke, which is a big distinction there, because then there are some good TV theme songs, but they might not have any lyrics or hardly any lyrics, and you're just not going to stand up there on stage, just hold a microphone and not saying anything. That'd be kind of weird. Like, I'm trying to think of some. Like, if you did, was it Sanford and Sons? Does that have lyrics?
Sanford and Son. Sanford and Son does not have lyrics.
Just stand up there in the microphone. But that is a good song.
I was trying to think of just a TV show that just repeats the title over and over again, like Punky Brewster, Punky Brewster. She's Punky Brewster. That's not the lyrics at all for that show, but you know what I
mean. Yeah, just every now and again going, doo-doo, doo-doo. Great stuff. But yes, so we're going to do our top 5. I think we should just dive straight into it. Should we, Kush?
Why not? That's why we're here.
All right. Do you want to go first? With your number 5.
So dig this. I know you want us to do 5, 4, 3, etc., etc. I only have a number 1 of a TV show with lyrics. I only have a number 1. Everything else is kind of supplemental. In fact, when we get to honorable mentions, one of my honorable mentions without lyrics is the best song for TV themes, period.
However, but you're not going to do that karaoke, are you?
We're doing karaoke. So, theme song to Bosom Buddies.
Bosom Buddies?
Bosom Buddies?
No, but it sounds like a late night show where just guys walk around town looking for big-breasted women.
Well, yeah, you're kind of right. It's a short-lived sitcom starring Peter Scarelli, who is no longer with us anymore, and a young unknown actor who never did anything with the rest of his career named Tom Hanks. Ooh. And they get kicked out of their apartment. This is the 1970s, and the only apartment that they can find within their price range is an all-female dormitory. No men allowed whatsoever. Ooh. And the whole gimmick was they have to dress in drag to live in this place. Of course, they fall in love with their neighbors who think that they're related to their drag icons, and it was a whole thing. Like I said, it lasted like maybe 12 episodes. I think I'm being generous there. I think it lasted less than that. But theme song, you will still hear on the radio. I don't care what you say anymore. This is my life. Do, 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 do. I'm not going to perform the song, kids, but
I'm going to have to look it up now. What is
it? We should just.
Was it an actual song?
I think we should just throw caution to the wind and play. It was an actual song. It gets radio plays today still. You have to go to the 70s, 80s channel, but it still gets plays.
No, I'm not gonna play the songs now, because as soon as I upload it, YouTube will be like, you need to replace all of these. And so
that's fine. You can cut that part out, I guess. Whatever, man. But the theme song to Bosom Buddies.
Great song. We can get around with it. If you want to sign up for extrawaffle.com, maybe I'll spicy the songs in there, because they won't know. All right, that was your number 5. My number 5. So mine are all, well, not all relatively recent, but this one is The Big Bang Theory by the Bare Naked Ladies. How can you not sing along to this, even if you don't like it? The whole universe is in a hot spin. Years ago, and then it goes, and then at the end, bang! It's great. It gets the whole family involved. That's one of the songs. If you get on the stage and sing the Big Bang Theory theme song, even if you're the only one in there, you know no one. You're getting that whole bar sing along with you, and you're gonna make so many
Right?
friends. Oh
Oh gosh,
yeah.
I don't want to go to that bar. Ooh, that sounds obnoxious. I'm not a fan of the Big Bang Theory. I recognize that it is a huge hit, and good for everybody on that show because you made a lot of money. Um, I will say this though, Mama Hayes is a fan, big fan of the Big Bang Theory. So I have soaked it up through cultural osmosis, walking through the living room, and most times that first few seasons, she'd be like, "I really like this song." I'm like, "Oh, you like the song?" All right, so
See?
just
Mama
giving you
Hayes loves a bit of
clarification
bare
there.
naked ladies.
I guess so. She would be
I,
surprised if she knew that that was their name too.
as for the show itself, it's not bad. It's one of those like if I'm like flicking through on TV and I'm
I
like,
will say it
oh,
is
I
the
got nothing else.
smartest comedy that ever existed because they were literally making jokes about black holes and quasars.
Indeed. I tell you what is a bad show though. The Young Sheldon spinoff. My parents love that
Mm,
shit. So whenever I like
mm,
once a year I go back to England to visit them, that's always on, and it's like this is
mm.
not that
Oh, fascinating.
funny. But yeah, and I don't even know
It's
what the
definitely
theme
a
is.
different show, and again, good for Jim Parsons because he gets double payment for that shit. And I think they're in syndication now.
I think
I mean,
because
if it's in the UK, he's definitely getting more checks for that. So good for him.
he's what producer and obviously does the voiceover
Yes.
as well. He's a
Yep.
narrator.
Yep. Yes and yes.
Get the cash, get the cash. All right, Cachet, what's your number 4?
The theme song to the greatest American hero. Believe it or not, I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so
Oh,
free.
that
Yeah,
is a good song.
so it still gets airplay on the radio today. Um,
Believe it
the
or not,
show
I'm
was
walking
only okay.
on.
This was during the 80s superhero craze, and by 80s superhero craze, I mean we only had Superman, and so everyone's just like, just put some tights and a cape on him, and that's your superhero. And
Boom.
the plot to this show, if you're not familiar, or maybe you are familiar, Mike, but aliens have landed on Earth. They left behind a super suit that this young gentleman finds. I want to say he's a photographer. I forget what his thing is, but his best friend's with a cop. Um, the superhero suit came with an instruction manual, and I'm not sure if it was in English, but he lost it anyways. So
Oh,
like he he doesn't know how to control his powers. He can fly, but all the time he's like, ooh, and he always crashes into a billboard. It's a lot of physical comedy. So, but the greatest American hero, that shit is a banger.
believe it or not. I'm susceptible to still every now and again put that on my Spotify playlist. It's a
Yeah,
banger.
right.
It's a banger.
It's hot like
Speaking of
fire.
other bangers, my number 4, we go back a little bit, retro, is the theme song to Happy Days.
Okay,
Monday,
I'm glad you put that
Tuesday,
on the
happy
list.
days. Monday, Thursday, happy days. Friday, Saturday, happy days. Holiday,
The weekend comes, the
everything.
cycle
Gotta
hums,
get back.
ready to
Boo.
you. Yep.
You can't like you cannot sing that song without doing the jazz hands. Happy days. So yeah, that give a shout out to Norman Gimbel. Apparently, he was the one that put that together. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Oh yeah, I should be crediting these people, shouldn't I? Shit. Hmm. My bad.
you're gonna get cease and
Hmm.
desist letters and everything, whereas I'm giving
I know.
props.
They're gonna be like, "What are you? Why are you William Shatnering my work, Steve Kush Hayes?"
That's what we should have done, rather than like illegally streaming the theme songs. We should have done like William Shatner renditions of them.
Well, I've just been doing that, at
Monday,
least to the best of my ability.
Tuesday, Happy
You know
Days.
what's incredible about the Happy Days theme song is the first season they went. I'm not sure if Happy Days itself was a real song. Like I think that was specifically created for the TV series,
Might have been.
but that didn't come until like season 2. Season 1 is Rock Around the Clock because it was supposed to be an homage to like, this
Yeah,
is
I
my
do remember that. I say I don't remember it at the time. I
this
wasn't born at the time, but I went when watching
right.
the reruns. I do remember "Rock Around the Clock" being a theme song. Look at you with your random knowledge.
Yeah, man. I drink and I know stuff.
So that's my
Game
number
of Thrones
four.
not on our list.
Happy no. Oh, that'll do though. That could be an honorable mention. Get up on the stage. No, 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 no. No, that's Walking Dead. That's Walking Dead. Walking Dead's another one though. No,
Oh,
no, no,
huh.
no, 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 no.
It's
All
funny
right.
how similar they are.
I know, right? Fantastic. Right, back up to you. Number
All right.
three, Kush
So
Hayes.
just gonna backtrack. The Bosom Buddies song was done by Billy Joel and it was called My Life. I will get into the number 4 song back in a minute here. Number 3, the theme for the Fall Guy. It's I you know what, I barely remember what that is, but um the TV series starred the $6 million man Lee Majors, and it was about a stunt man who is also like a private detective on the side. So we'd always start off an episode where like he does some outrageous stunt, and then he would get into that week's episode here. Let's see. TV classic, yeah, theme from the Fall Guy. Who sings theme from the Fall Guy? Lyrics by Juco Kaleo and Daniel Hagstrom. And it is Everybody Falls, theme from the Fall Guy. I don't think this actually
Everybody
gets any radio
falls.
play,
Okay.
but it's an
Lyrics,
interesting song.
vocals by Rocky Balboa. Everybody falls time, but it's not about how many times you fall down, but how quickly get back up. Great speech. Great speech. So you're not going to
And
do a
then
little rendition for us?
I don't even remember how it goes, to be honest. It's more
Why
of
is
a
it in your
country
top
ditty
five if you don't remember what the song was?
because I remember it being dope. Like, and then Joel Scarberry did "Believe It or Not," the greatest American theme song.
Great song.
My number 2, I already know who did it. I just need to look up my number 1 here. Who do you got, Mike Fish?
My number 2 is it starts off with doom, 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 doom. It's the Fresh Prince of Bel Air by
Okay,
the
I'm glad you
Fresh
put that on your
Prince
list
and
too.
DJ Jazzy Jeff. Because that is one again one of those songs. As soon as it comes on, you are all about how my life got flipped and upside down, and I like to think a minute sit right there and say, "I began the prince of a down called Bel Air." And then once you listen to the actual song, because he actually released the actual song, and you're like, maybe
That
it's
thing
like,
goes on
oh,
forever
maybe it's on a
too. Like,
bar or something, and you're like, fuck yeah, and you sing along to it, and then the second verse kicks in, and you're like, oh fuck,
yeah.
I never heard this bit before.
Yeah,
But
it's an eye opener because you're used to that 30-second intro, and it's nice, it's tight, it's catchy. It has made a cultural impact, not just on America, but apparently the world.
wait,
Where like,
shit, I just skipped to number 2. I didn't even do my number 3.
oh,
Oh no.
oh, that's all right. We'll come back to that.
But yeah,
We'll
anyway,
come back
carry
to it.
on.
I think I misled you. I went, who's your number 2, Mike? So you just went, yeah, it's my number 2. Um, yeah, that song has a cultural impact not just on the United States, but apparently the world. Okay, again, like it has been weaved into so many conversations just randomly as a joke, but everyone immediately picks up on the joke, and no one has ever rolled their eyes and like, this fucking joke again. No, but yes, once you hear the actual full song, it's jarring because it goes on for another 3 minutes and 30 seconds. You're like, what is happening here? Like, I didn't know this was a fucking Shakespearean tragedy. Holy shit.
Where is it? Where you move your arms, your Uncle Bel Air, and then he goes, I begged and I pleaded with her day after day, but she packed my suitcase and sent me on my way. She gave me a kiss and then she gave me my ticket. I bought my Walkman. I said I might as well kick it. First class. And although I do think there was like the odd episode that they did do the extended version because I do seem to remember.
If they extended it, it wasn't is maybe by 15 seconds. You can't have a theme song go for 4 minutes, dude.
No, like maybe not, but I do seem to remember. Unless he released a video for it, and my memories all kind of melded into one. But I do remember
I mean,
him
as part of
sitting
the
on a
promotion for
plane,
NBC, there might have been a music video.
sipping on orange juice out of a champagne glass.
They were trying to do everything they could to make that show a success that first season, so I would not be surprised if there was a music video for it.
Extended intro. Let's see. Yeah, so the long version, which appeared on certain episodes, was 1 minute 49. That's like ahead of its
149.
time. Because that's
Jesus
like
Christ, dude.
that's short for like a
That's
HBO show now. They go on for about 5 fucking minutes.
dude, that's so like in the 70s, they would do theme openers that would take 2 minutes long. Again, one of my honorable mentions is gonna be mentioned with this. But yeah, like when we got to the 80s and commercial time became more important than the content itself, like we you have to get your episode done in 25 minutes. So that you're 2 of those minutes better not be your goddamn opening credits because you still have to have ending credits too. So wow, 1 minute 49. That's madness to me. So, all right. My number two, and we're going to get back to your number three, but my number two is the theme song to Different Strokes. And this is actually going to blow your mind, Mike Fish. It was written, composed, and performed by the late,
Gary
great Alan
Oldman.
Thicke.
No.
Alan Thicke.
What? Robin's
Growing
dead.
Pains. Yes. Yeah. He was actually a Canadian pop star before he became an actor. And he didn't have to do Growing Pains. He made a lot of money off of that Different Strokes jingle. At least I think he did. Maybe things were different back then and he didn't. But um, the guy who wrote Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who I think is also responsible for like Two and a Half Men and all that shit, he didn't make a dime off that song. In fact, they strong armed him out of it. They're like, you're just going to sign this contract, releasing us, or you're never going to work in this town again. He was like, oh, shit. I guess I'm going to sign the contract and go on and produce many, many, many successful TV series.
Good for him. And then later on, Alan Thicke's son would get in trouble by being really sexually awkward to topless women on a music video.
You know what though? He did some controversy come out of that, or is that just you riffing? Because I know men and women love that fucking video, especially the explicit one where bitches are walking around topless.
Yeah, so apparently, I'm sure, I'm not making this up, I'm sure, but one of the models on it kind of came out later and said she kind of felt pressured to doing the topless stuff.
Because she was. So let me just confirm that for her. She was.
But I know I remember the biggest controversy coming out was like because it sampled a song by
Marvin Gaye,
and they didn't get permission, and it was
which
like
a lot of people slept on.
Like, it was brilliant because like when it was all successful, Robin Thicke was like, "Yeah, Robin Thicke in the house. Everyone loves Robin Thicke. I'm a genius." And then suddenly some legal stuff came out, and he was like, "Well, Pharrell did all the stuff. Don't look at me, fucking bitch."
Yeah, it's amazing that music video scandal didn't cancel him. It was the fact that he sampled Marvin Gaye and didn't pay for the rights. I was at clubs, dude, where that song would come on, and then everybody would stop what they were doing and scream, "You're the baddest bitch in this place." And then they would all go back to doing what they were doing. Like that thing was on fire, dude. You could not escape that song that specific summer. What was that? 2009, 2011?
But it was one of those things where like, I watched it as a let's have a look. How old was it? Robin Thicke. What the fuck was the song?
Blurred Lines.
There we go. That came out in 2013. So 10 years ago.
2013. Okay. I knew it was an odd year.
So yeah, I just remember watching it, like listening to it. It's like, oh, this is a fun, funky song. I'm enjoying this, and then seeing the video, I'm like, oh my god,
Mhm.
because it's like at that point I was 27 years old. I was well
Mhm.
versed in boobies, like I'd seen
Yeah.
boobies, but it was just that
Yeah.
kind of like,
Sure.
oh, I'm seeing boobies in a music video. This is
Mhm.
insane, right? And so I was like, but then once all the kind of the awkwardness started coming out about that thing, and
Mhm.
and all of a sudden you start seeing things in different lights and hearing things in different lights, where that now kind of the woman felt a bit uncomfortable being in that video, and then you hear the
Mhm.
lyrics, you want it. Oh, now it does sound kind of rapey. Oh, awkward.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That song is about a man convincing a woman to cheat on her boyfriend or a husband and then blaming her for it.
Who'd have thunk?
It's yeah. When you dissect the lyrics, you're like, "Ooh, this is problematic," as the kids say these days. But good sounding song that gets no radio play anymore
No,
somehow. Um,
but
I think
shout out to
even
his
Millie
dad.
Vanilli gets a couple spins. Shout out to his dad. Yeah.
Different
Um,
strokes, takes
what was I
different
going to say?
strokes to
Doesn't matter.
make the world. Right, backtracking. My number three is this is a great karaoke song.
Hmm.
Making your way in the world today takes everything you've got.
Wow, this is your
Taking a
number
break
three.
from all your worries. Sure would help a lot. Oh, wouldn't you like to get away?
Boom, 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 boom.
But then that's enough. So this is all right, for those that don't know my amazing rendition. That is the theme song for Cheers, sung by Gary Portnoy. Portnoy.
Mm-hmm.
But that is another one of those songs where you just the TV version is just seared into your brain, and then if you
Mm-hmm.
listen to the actual song, like
Oh
so
yeah,
it
yeah,
goes.
yeah.
It's like, wouldn't you like to get away? And you're ready for the dun, sometimes you want, but then it goes, all those nights when again. Wait, what? He's still going? What the fuck?
The mailman sent you a cease and desist, and your wife is cheating on you. Like you're like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
What?
I hate all of this. Um,
And then you just mumbling along, and then you hear the there we go.
mhm.
Sometimes you wanna go. Great song, great show. It was close between that and Fresh Prince to get number, but I think maybe Fresh Prince tops it for me, maybe
Mhm.
just because it's
Maybe
I
for you.
watched that as it was a thing, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it has a little bit more
Sure.
resonance to
I
me,
understand.
but it's very
No,
close.
I
So
it's it was part of your it's part of your experience. It's you literally if you watch Cheers every day in syndication, even for that half hour a day, 5 days a week, like that song is embedded in your head 5 times a week for how many years? Who knows? So I get it, and that's why we're getting into honorable mentions now. And my honorable mention is a "Save Me" by Remy Zero from the Smallville soundtrack.
oh, that is a good
I watched
shout.
almost every episode of Smallville. It's a time capsule now, man. It gets no airplay whatsoever.
Well,
Not even the TV
because
series.
again, we're talking about the cancel stuff. Didn't the
Oh, did
woman
they
in
get
that?
canceled?
Did you not hear about her?
Oh, are you talking about the actress? I thought there was something related to the song. No. Yeah,
Oh
I heard about
no. Yeah,
Allison Mack.
the reason that
She
show
just got
gets
out
no
of jail, by
play,
the way. She just got
good for
out of jail,
her, I
and gentlemen,
guess.
she's single.
Woo-hoo. And she has connections. She can get a lot of bitches.
You know what? I bet she can do some freaky shit on her own without all those bitches. And
Uh,
that's why I'm like, Allison Mack, call me.
yeah,
Anyway,
Alice Mack. Call him.
yeah,
Leave me out of your shit.
you're gonna be the best man at my wedding, Mike Fish.
Oh, and then we're gonna be on
Anyway,
a Netflix documentary. Oh God.
fuck yes. You've all well, fame. Grab fame however you can, sir. All right.
So yeah, I hosted a podcast with Kush Hayes. I had no idea he would start a cult.
I don't know how they didn't see this coming. I've been saying all the time since high school, like I want to start my own religion, and it's gonna be based on beer, and we're gonna recreate passages from Genesis. Like,
What, the band?
that's actual
That'd be a
dialogue.
good cult. Just drinking beer and listening
Ooh,
to Genesis all day. Fuck yeah, sign me up.
you heard it here, folks. Mike Fish is my lieutenant in the new Kush cult, soon to be named later. But
TBD.
Smallville, it's a very small time capsule now. The song, like the whole show was in production pre 9/11, but then like that song just resonated throughout the rest of that era for the next 10 years. And the show should have stopped after Clark Kent graduated high school because after once we got to season 5 and then there was this whole network merger, it went from the WB
The CW.
to the CW. Thank you. And then it just wasn't the same show. Like when it was a WB property, they treated it like a Warner Brothers property. There was a lot of care and love and a lot of thought put into it. And then when it became a CW show, it's just like we just got to crank out 22 episodes here. And I actually tapped out at season 8. I'm surprised I
Jesus, I
actually
didn't
made
even
it that
realize it
long.
went that long.
10 years. It went 10 years. Series finale was pretty good. I popped in for that, but yeah, the show went 6 years too long.
And what's your you got any other
Well, what's your honorable mention? We'll come back to me.
All right, well, my first honorable mention is actually a spin-off of my number 3.
Oh,
It's
okay.
the theme song from Frasier that
Oh, fun.
was a banger. And it was always, it made me giggle because he's talking about tossed salad and scrambled eggs. And
Mm-hmm.
tossed salad's kind of for sexual act. That's when you lick a man's butt. Yeah, tossed salad and scrambled eggs. And also, it gets extra points because the man from the show was actually singing it.
Frasier, Kelsey
Fraser
Grammer,
Crane, Nelsie Kramer, whatever his name is. Yeah, he was.
Kelsey Kramer.
He sang the song. I don't think he
Okay.
wrote the song, but
You know what? As big a fan of Cheers as I was, I never got into Frasier. I watched a few episodes. I understood why people liked it. Excuse me. And when it came to the thing song, that's obviously nowhere near close to anything on my list. But when we always got to the tossed eggs and scrambled salad, and then we go, they're calling again. That 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 little fragment of a syllable is my favorite. They're calling again. It's like, oh, he's got the bad tummy. that's a poop
hey,
joke.
baby, I hear the blues are calling. And then at the end, right just before the show starts, you can hear him, good stuff. That's my
Yeah,
first
I was always
mention.
surprised by Frasier because yeah, Kelsey Grammer ended up playing that character for over 20 years at that point. Like the only one who has more longevity with a single character is comedian, but he was on Law and Order. Richard Belzer. Richard Belzer played his character from Law and Order over 7 different series, sometimes just making little guest appearances, including The Simpsons and The X Files. But like he played that character for like 25 years before he finally passed away.
I know who you're talking about. Yes, indeed. And also, but my
Richard
favorite
Belzer.
episodes were always whenever the few episodes where the Cheers characters would come in, like Ted Danson would show up and the other guys. I can't think of their names.
I know Sandy Duncan. I know Diane made an appearance once. I know Lilith made a couple of appearances for obvious reasons.
And
And
then
then I think Rebecca and Norman Cliff showed up.
no, what's
But like no Carla, no Woody.
Woody? Yeah, he showed up in one episode. I remember.
Oh, did he? Okay, cool.
Yeah,
No one talks about it.
it's a great. Well, he did all right afterwards. So tossed salad and scrambled eggs. What a theme song! That's one of my first honorable mentions. What's on your list?
This is my last honorable mention, and I think it is. While this isn't anything you could perform at a karaoke, and I know that was the stipulation, this this still needs to be brought to people's attention. This is the dopest song in TV series history, television history, is the theme from James Garner's The Rockford Files.
Ooh.
There's a show from the 70s. James Garner, civil rights activist, actor extraordinaire. He's a private detective. This was shit that was, when I was growing up, was always in syndication, and I would find my grandmother watching it. And because, I was that obnoxious child and she was my grandmother, like, I'm not watching this thing. Old people are watching. But every time that theme song came on, I was like, this shit is dope. Like, it's just, Mike, I kind of demand that you play the Rockford Files for everybody right now.
You can demand all you like, buddy.
YouTube
Just
be damned, sir.
patreon.com/wafflebox.
No.
$2.
Everyone, look
$2.
up the theme for the Rockford Files. It is spectacular.
Marvelous. And then my final, so my honorable mention, my final honorable mention changed during the show, live during the show,
Wow.
because originally I had a different one down. I may
Ooh,
or may not, even though I didn't like the show
controversy.
at the time. For example, like the Friends theme song. It's a great song.
Yeah, it's
I
catchy.
wasn't a big
It's
fan of
catchy.
the
Not much of
show,
a
but
Friends guy.
the song was pretty good. But then when we started talking about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air extended version, oh my God, that's so long. That's like a HBO show. As soon as I said HBO show, light bulb went off. And I was like, no, this show needs to be honored a little bit. The theme song
It's,
for The Wire, that
oh, okay.
song was
I don't know that song.
great. It's a song called Way Down in the Hole by Tom Waits, written by Tom Waits. And it's like,
Okay. Interesting.
when you walk through the garden,
I know the
you
name
gotta
Tom
watch
Waits.
your back.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
Controversial statement. I'm in that minority of people who have never seen The Wire.
What? Such a great
Apparently, everybody
show.
has seen this show. Everyone keeps telling me that. Everyone keeps saying this is the greatest show that has ever existed or will ever exist. I'm like, all right, all right.
Oh, I don't believe overhyping,
How
because
can you have
then
never seen The Wire? All right.
I'm not a big fan of overhyping something like that. Because if you say, "Oh my God, it's the greatest show ever," you're going in the mindset it's the greatest show ever, and then even if it's a great show, because it's not the greatest show ever, you're going to be, "Oh, that's not as good. That's not very good."
I get publicly judged every time I say that.
Well, that's
I've
fair.
never
You
seen
should
The Wire.
be.
They're like, how can you have never seen The Wire? It is
I
the
mean,
greatest show that has ever been.
I don't want to overhype it, but yes, I do believe that whenever you walk down the streets, there should be a woman walking behind you with a bell, going, "Shame, shame."
Is it Hannah Waddington? Because I'll be okay with that.
But
She's got
it's
dressed like Ted
it's a
Lasso.
roller coaster, Kush. It's a roller coaster because the first season. This is I'm not going to overhype it, but for me, the first season was like, oh my God, this is actually a really great show. And then the second season came out, and it was like, oh, this is not very good. Ooh, for about 3 episodes, and then episode 4, it kind of suddenly ties it all back in with the season 1 story, and you're like, oh my God, and it becomes amazing again. It's very well done. You're not going to watch it though, are you? So,
Bro, still probably not. No, we have the Max app. Like we've had HBO Max, we've had HBO Now, we've had HBO Go, we've had HBO and on demand. So we haven't done that by now. We're probably just not going to.
wow.
But I believe everybody that tells me it's fantastic. The way I believe everybody says Breaking Bad is fantastic. Still never seen an episode. Not going to.
I've watched like 2 episodes of Breaking Bad. That's another. I haven't watched that either. So, right. So let's
Hopefully.
recap. So Kush Hayes, number 5, Bosom Buddies. Number 4, The Greatest American Hero. Number 3, The Fall Guy. Number 2, Different Strokes, with honorable mentions, Smallville and Rockford Files. Whereas mine, number 5, Big Bang Theory. Number 4, Happy Days. Number 3, Cheers. Number 2, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Honorable mentions going to Frasier and The Wire. Now, Kush Hayes, if you could do us the honors.
Mm-hmm.
What is your number one?
Dude, I was surprised we had no crossover until you got to your number three. And my number one is the theme from Cheers by Gary Portnoy.
Yay!
It is the greatest TV theme that you can perform at karaoke. Everybody will get in on it. It's one of those things that the entire crowd will just sing with you. Um, I've done a couple Cheers binges this pandemic where I just watched the entire series over. Every episode still holds up. Every joke is still fucking hilarious. You can have it on the background and jokes will still just buzz into your ear. And when it comes to the theme song, even though he doesn't come in until like season 3 or 4, I was convinced for a while that Woody Harrelson was singing the theme song because it sounds just like Woody. Woody can also play the piano. No, but it is not Woody Harrelson.
No.
But it sounded a lot like him. And shout out to my friends in the UK, the Where Nobody Knows Your Name podcast, the official, unofficial Cheers podcast is going strong. And yeah, they've been on the microdose several times.
Go to posit.family. I know that. Okay. Now, my number one. Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend. Travel around the world and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. Embodied everyone you knew. You would see the biggest gift from me, and I got attached would say, thank you for being a friend. Dun, 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 dun. Boom, you're welcome, world. Shout out Andrew Gold. Andrew Gold actually released the original, and it's actually a full, like 3.5 4 minute song. Yeah, it is. Yeah,
it wasn't made for the series. Okay,
was not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the song came out a few years, I think, before the show, and then a wonderful young lady with a beautiful voice named Cynthia Fox did the cover and shortened it for the which won the show. Cynthia Fox. And fun fact, she sang it at what was the actual? It was like the Betty memorial White. For Betty White. She sang it live. Beautiful.
I didn't want Betty White to die. I didn't want any of those ladies to die. But I was hoping that song would die once we lost the last Golden Girl. And well, it is clearly in the cultural zeitgeist. I do not understand why people like that show so much. Don't get me wrong. I've probably seen every episode of the Golden Girls, but when I was watching it, I was 9 years old and trying to stay up past my bedtime on a Saturday night, and I could get away with it for some reason watching the Golden Girls and then Empty Nest. But yeah, I don't know why that show has resonated with so many people.
It's timeless. It's still funny.
It's weird. So they had
look at her. Look at this old woman. She still loves to fuck.
What's crazy about that series is I forget if it was just before the pandemic or still kind of in the pandemic, but the Fathom Events distributing company did a Golden Girls night. So everything with this distributing company, Fathom, it's always a commercial. So when they're doing the 25th anniversary of the Transformers, the movie, it's because there's a Blu-ray coming out that Tuesday. And they're like, if you like seeing it in 4K on the big screen, buy it for home. Anyway, Hulu did the promotion for this. So like, we got Golden Girls now on Hulu. So come and watch the best 4 episodes of the Golden Girls. And I was like, well, this is my one up. I'm going to take Mama Hayes to see this, and then that's our adventure for this week. And she had a great time, but those women are all like maybe just past 50, with the exception of Estelle Getty's character, Sophia. Like, for some reason they're treating them like senior citizens, but they're maybe all just over 50. I don't think any of them were in their 60s or 65.
And always, I mean, always
it's really weird.
the funniest of the fun facts is that the woman that played the mother, the oldest one, I think she was the youngest
Sophia's
out of
the
the
youngest.
bunch.
You are correct. And the first one to pass away still somehow.
Shout out to Sophia,
Wow.
by the way.
Oh my goodness.
Yep, I've got my little Cynthia, bless her. My little Funko collection. So there you go. Cheers. It's not bad. Not a bad list. I'm not going to disagree with yours. There's some bangers on there, and I might even put a playlist together for when I take a little walk.
Oh, that'd be fun.
That'd be nice. But yeah, so let us know what you thought about our top 5. Send us your feedback at enjoywafflebox@gmail.com or at Wafflebox on the Twitter sphere or the X Factor, whatever the fuck that app's called these days. And make sure you hit the subscribe button, follow and all that bullshit. And look forward to hopefully seeing you on your next Wafflebox Weekender. And if you want us to do another top 5, again, feel free to suggest it. enjoywafflebox@gmail.com. Any final thoughts, Kush?
No, just again, appreciate all of you, and yeah, we'll see you when we see you.
Don't forget to check out the actual episodes of Wafflebox each and every Wednesday at enjoywafflebox.com. And until next time, take care of yourselves and each other.
That's all, folks.